West 11 Sports Media presents Littlefield High School baseball action on the Littlefield Sports Network. Welcome to today's play-by-play broadcast. Littlefield Wildcats baseball is brought to you by the following supporters: the Littlefield ISD, Hillcrest Funeral Home, Wellington State Bank, Heffington Farms, and Triple T Irrigation, Fibermax by BASF, First Federal Bank, Brown Flying Service, the Lance Insurance Agency, Always Towing, and by Bill Wells Chevrolet, GMC. We will go live and direct to the ballpark for today's play-by-play action, right after a word from our sponsors. Needing a tow can ruin your day, whether it be a breakdown, flat tire, or even a wreck. If you ever need a tow, Always Towing is here to make it less stressful and more cost-efficient for you. Always Towing is located in Littlefield, Texas, and services the entire area. They provide light and heavy-duty towing, rollback services, winch outs, and wheel lifts for trucks. Their experienced drivers are available 24 hours a day. Call 385-3800. That's 385-3800 for Always Towing. The Holmes family of Always Towing sends all the best to the Littlefield Wildcats in tonight's game.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC in Plainview. It's truck month at Bill Wells, and we have 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado light-duty trucks with Turbo Max and 5.3-liter engines, and great offers on all other Silverados. Make us your last stop and get the best deal. Together, let's drive. Call, click BillWellsChevrolet.com, or come see us at 501 South I-27, where your next car is in plain view.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Brown family of Brown Flying Service in Littlefield proudly supports the Littlefield Wildcats and sends them all the best in tonight's game. Brown Flying Service provides agricultural aerial application services to crop producers across the South Plains. They offer a comprehensive array of products and services for your agriculture operation. Based at the Littlefield Taylor Brown Municipal Airport, it's Brown Flying Service supporting the Wildcats this season.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to tonight's matchup between the Littlefield Wildcats and the Shallowater Mustangs. I'm Gabriel Montalvo here, bringing you tonight's matchup. It's a good weather for some baseball. We're playing here at the Shallowater Mustang Stadium. I'm going to go ahead and get into some lineups while we wait for the umpires to show up. Starting with the Littlefield lineup. Batting first and pitching number 2, Major McNeese. Batting second is number 30, Adam McDonald. Batting third is number 18, Braden Redmond. The cleanup hitter for Littlefield is number 28, Chip Green. Batting fifth for Littlefield is number 26, Gabe Mata. Sixth hole for Littlefield is number 12, Ian Mendez. Batting seventh for the Wildcats is number 10, Jacob Kirkland. Batting eighth for the Littlefield Wildcats is number 8, Jaden Kirkland. And then batting ninth for Littlefield is number 6, Gabe Villanueva. Leftover Wildcats on the bench is number 22, Dawson Atkins. Number 20, Anastasio Ayala. Number 32, C.J. Weaver. And number 16, Blayton Solis. And that is the lineup for Littlefield today. We'll go ahead and get you the Shallowater lineup. Their head coach is Coach Brent Paris. So leading things off for the Shallowater Mustangs is going to be Maddox McDonald. Number 2 in the lineup for Shallowater is Clayton Vincent. Number 3 for Shallowater is Garrett Boschma. The cleanup hitter for Shallowater is Zach Scott. He's followed by number 2, Pierce Keeney. 6th hole for Shallowater is number 8, Caden Carter. 7th hole for Shallowater is number 10, Rylan Ramos. Number 8 for Shallowater is Blaine St. Clair. And then the final hitter for Shallowater is number 1, Rylan Blackburn. And then the PO today for the Shallowater Mustangs is number 11, Braden Gurney. So it's going to be a great day for some baseball. Highly anticipated matchup between Littlefield and Shallowater. But we're going to go ahead and allow them to introduce the players, wait for the national anthem. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back right after this.
At First Federal Bank, we believe we are the best bank in Lamb County. We are the next generation of banking. while still holding true to our values that help to improve lives and strengthen communities. First Federal Bank was born to provide banking the way it should be, by putting people first. We are proud of the role we serve in the lives of our customers. Visit our new ATM, conveniently located at our bank at 2313 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. First Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 4-94763.
The Heffington family of Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation sends all the best to each member of the Littlefield Wildcats this season. Triple T Irrigation is an authorized TL irrigation systems dealer. Like no other, hydrostatically powered TL systems are designed to deliver continuous movement to extend gearbox life. Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, proud supporters of the Littlefield Wildcats.
Hillcrest Funeral Home is Littlefield owned and operated and has been since 2007. We are proud supporters of the Wildcats, Lady Cats, and our Wildcat Band. I'm Shauna Wagley Hastings, and my promise is to always offer you personal and compassionate care in your time of loss. Hillcrest is hometown, and we are always here for you. Come see us at 1305 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. Hillcrest Funeral Home, cherish the memories, honor the legacy.
Trust the Lance Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. They offer a better way to buy insurance. Visit David McGeehee and let him shop multiple carriers to get the most competitive rate available for auto, home, commercial, life, crop insurance, and more. Go by 2433 South Farwell Avenue in Littlefield, or give David a call at 385-1693 and let him find the best combination of price, coverage, and service just for you. The Lance Insurance Agency proudly supports the Wildcats and Lady Cats in all that they do.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabriel Montalvo here bringing you tonight's matchup. And the coaches are meeting at the plate for the coaches meeting, where the game's being played here in Shallowater. The weather is perfect baseball weather, hardly any wind, with it being 70 degrees outside. Really couldn't get any better than this. So, just to go into it, Shallowater is currently, I believe, first in the district. They're sitting at 5-0, and Littlefield is in tie for second with Idalou sitting at 4-1. So tonight's matchup could potentially put us in a tie for first. So there goes the coaches meeting at the plate. Littlefield's currently wearing their maroon pinstripes with white trimming numbers, and Shallowater's wearing their white pinstripes with red and black trimming numbers. So as they're about to introduce their lineups, we're going to go ahead and get the national anthem out of the way. We'll be right back.
This is Superintendent Mitch McNeese. I'm proud to support our Littlefield ISD athletes and students as they strive for victory. Behind every game, every win, and every success on a field, court, or classroom stands a dedicated team. From our hardworking school board to our passionate administrators, faculty, and staff, we are cheering for our students. With their talent and determination, they embody the spirit of our community. Go Wildcats, Littlefield ISD, where excellence is the standard.
Every bag of FiberMax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." FiberMax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions.
118 years and still going strong. Wellington State Bank is your hometown community bank. Wellington State Bank offers personal dedicated service on deposit accounts, farm and equipment loans, and many other financial needs. Wellington State Bank proudly serves the Littlefield area and always supports the Wildcats. Visit any of our 14 locations or on the web at wellingtonsb.bank. Wellington State Bank of Littlefield, your partners in progress, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Lamb County Electric Cooperative was established in 1938 for the purpose of making life better for our community, and today they continue to strive for that purpose. LCEC is committed to providing safe, reliable electric service at the lowest practical cost. The Lamb County Electric Co-op is proud of its well-trained, quality workforce that meets the changing needs of its membership. Proudly serving you and all of the communities in our coverage area, the Lamb County Electric Co-op, a touch-tone energy cooperative.
Needing a tow can ruin your day, whether it be a breakdown, flat tire, or even a wreck. If you ever need a tow, Always Towing is here to make it less stressful and more cost-efficient for you. Always Towing is located in Littlefield, Texas, and services the entire area. They provide light and heavy-duty towing, rollback services, winch outs, and wheel lifts for trucks. Their experienced drivers are available 24 hours a day. Call 385-3800. That's 385-3800 for Always Towing. The Holmes family of Always Towing sends all the best to the Littlefield Wildcats in tonight's game.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC in Plainview. It's truck month at Bill Wells, and we have 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado light-duty trucks with Turbo Max and 5.3-liter engines, and great offers on all other Silverados. Make us your last stop and get the best deal. Together, let's drive. Call, click BillWellsChevrolet.com, or come see us at 501 South I-27, where your next car is in plain view.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Brown family of Brown Flying Service in Littlefield proudly supports the Littlefield Wildcats and sends them all the best in tonight's game. Brown Flying Service provides agricultural aerial application services to crop producers across the South Plains. They offer a comprehensive array of products and services for your agriculture operation. Based at the Littlefield Taylor Brown Municipal Airport, it's Brown Flying Service supporting the Wildcats this season.
True hometown banks are harder to find these days. Hometown banking at First Federal Bank means that we are headquartered right here in Lamb County. So you get personal service, local decisions from local pros, fast. We specialize in ag lending, land notes, and investment property. Plus, we have a new home mortgage product with little down and low rates. First Federal Bank in Littlefield, a hometown bank who understands your needs. Find us on Facebook, call, or come in today. First Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS 494763.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. As we're minutes away from the first pitch. So just to talk about the field we're playing on, it's a all dirt and grass field. Dirt being around the home plate, third, second, and first base. Beautiful grass. I mean, it's a very nice and looks very taken care of field. So Littlefield will be the visiting team, meaning they'll get to bat first. Shallowater now takes the field with Braden Gurney on the mound. Down the right foul line, you have 326 to right, and then it is 330 to left field. Center field has a green monster. I would say you'd have to hit it maybe 400 to get it over that fence. But today's game was originally supposed to be scheduled tomorrow, but due to possible bad wind conditions, they moved it up to today. So that's why we brought to you today's game. Major McNeese getting ready to lead things off for the Wildcats. And he'll be followed by number 30, Adam McDonald. So we're a few pitches away from the ump saying, come on, batter. Last week's game, Littlefield run ruled Slayton, or excuse me, they didn't run rule them, but they beat them by about 10 runs, played them 7 full innings. Shallowater, I believe, played Idalou last week. Unfortunately, I don't know the score of that game, but Shallowater did end up coming out on top, so that puts them at 5-0 and first in district standings. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Major McNeese walks up to the plate. Blake Green, the coach, down the first baseline, and Coach Jet Hartley down the third baseline. Things getting ready to go, waiting for catcher to come back. And we'll be underway. Excuse the quality of the camera. I tried to get the best angle I could, but unfortunately they got a netting, a big net covering the thing, so it's kind of like last week in Slayton. But here's the first pitch of the game. And Major takes it for a outside ball. Count to be 1-0. Gurney delivering the second pitch. And that comes in for a called strike one. The count is now 1-1. Third pitch underway. He foul tips it. It's going to be called strike two. Count is now 1-2. Count now 1-2. Next pitch underway. It's going to be outside for a called ball two. Looked like a curveball. Left it hanging, didn't get enough spin on it. So count now at 2-2. Here comes Gurney with the next pitch. And Major meets it at the outside, gets between the shortstop and the third baseman. It's going to be a base hit to lead off the game. So now here's the first baseman, number 30, Adam McDonald, coming in as the 2-hole for Littlefield. So with the base hit, that puts Major at first base. Adam at the plate. He shows bunt. Second pitch on the way. Adam tries to get the bunt down, but it's going to go foul. Strike one. Counts now 0-1. Adam gets the sign from Coach Hartley. Gurney gets the sign from his catcher. Adam shows bunt again. He gets it down. That's going to move Major over to second. And Adams, unfortunately, not going to beat the throw out, but he does move Major McNeese to second base. And I'm almost 100% sure that's exactly what Coach Hartley wanted them to do. And Littlefield is known for small ball, and they've been pretty good at it all season. Got introduced to it a lot last season. And Coach Hartley doesn't seem to be moving away from it. So Adam gets the bunt down, moves Major McNeese over to second. So here comes the 3-hole, number 18, Braden Redmond. Gurney gets the sign from his catcher. Pitch is underway. It blows by him for a called strike one. So the count 0-1. Major McNeese at second base. Second pitch underway. It's going to be a ball inside. Count is now 1-1. Redmond getting the call from Coach Hartley. Third pitch underway. Red's going to take it. It's going to be a ball inside. The count is now 2-1. So with the count being 2-1 with one out, Major McNeese at second. So Redmond gets the call from Hartley. Next pitch underway. It's going to be a swing and a miss for a called strike two. So the count is now 2-2. Major McNeese still at second. So Braden Gurney takes a while to get the sign from his catcher. Redmond's going to call time and step out of the box. Steps back into the box. Next pitch is underway. It's going to be a foul ball behind the stands. Count still remains 2-2. So Braden Gurney's getting the sign from his catcher. Major McNeese still at second, playing it safe. Next pitch, Major's gonna go. He goes, but Redmond tries to check swing and ends up fouling it off. So it's gonna send Major back to second base, and Redmond gets to still compete at the plate. Count is still 2-2 with 1 out in the first inning. Next pitch is underway. He back picks, but Major's going to be back safe. So Gurney tries to back pick, but Major reads it and gets back to the bag with plenty of time to spare. So count still at 2-2. Next pitch is underway. It's going to be fouled off. Redmond battling here. Count still at 2-2. The 6th pitch at bat so far. Major McNeese still at second. He might have got dirt in his ear a little bit. I see him trying to get it out. But here we go. Gurney gets the sign from his pitcher, or his catcher, excuse me. Next pitch underway. It's going to be a curved ball for a swing and a miss and a strike 3. So with Redmond striking out, it'll bring the cleanup hitter, number 28, Chip Green, to the plate for Littlefield.
Third baseman, 28, Chip Green.
So Major McNeese still at second with 2 outs left in the first. Chip has been on fire for the Wildcats since he's been out of basketball. And he gets it into the gap. That's going to, he hits a left field shot. Hartley's going to send Major home. Major's coming, it's going to be close, and he's safe. Major gets in safe. And Chip gets himself a base hit. So he hits it to shallow left. Major gets a huge jump, and Hartley sends him home, and it pays off for the Wildcats, and now Littlefield takes the lead. It's now 1-0 at the top of the first. So everything paid off for Littlefield right there. Chip Green came in and did a job. Got himself a base hit. With that, that'll bring number 26, Gabe Mata, to the plate for Littlefield. Chip Green at first. 2 outs. The pitch in for a called strike 1. Count now 0-1 with 2 outs. Chip Green at first. Second pitch underway. Be a swing and a miss. He's going to try to back pick, and he's going to get away from his first baseman. Chip's going to steal second and get there with ease. That now, Littlefield now has Chip Green at second with 2 outs and 2 strikes. So the count is 0-2 for Gabe Mata. Chip Green stole second with an error on the catcher and the first baseman for Shallowater. Bad throw, hits the dirt. Chip Green still second. So here's Gurney getting the sign from his catcher. Count 0-2. Pitch is underway. And a strike 3. So Gabe Mata goes down swinging, but not before Littlefield can get a run on the board. So the score is now 1-0 at the top of the first. We'll be right back right after this.
The Heffington family of Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation sends all the best to each member of the Littlefield Wildcats this season. Triple T Irrigation is an authorized TL irrigation systems dealer. Like no other, hydrostatically powered TL systems are designed to deliver continuous movement to extend gearbox life. Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, proud supporters of the Littlefield Wildcats.
Hillcrest Funeral Home is Littlefield owned and operated and has been since 2007. We are proud supporters of the Wildcats, Lady Cats, and our Wildcat Band. I'm Shauna Wagley Hastings, and my promise is to always offer you personal and compassionate care in your time of loss. Hillcrest is hometown, and we are always here for you. Come see us at 1305 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. Hillcrest Funeral Home, cherish the memories, honor the legacy.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. It is now the bottom of the first inning. Littlefield got a run on. Well, Major McNeese is going to score for the Wildcats. So I'm going to give you the position players for Littlefield. You have Jaden Kirkland behind the plate. Major McNeese is on the mound. Adam McDonald at first base. Gabe Mata playing second. Ian Mendez at shortstop. Chip Green playing third. Then you have Gabe Villanueva playing left. Braden Redmond's in center, and Jacob Kirkland is in right. So here comes Maddox McDonald for Shallowater to lead things off for the Mustangs. First pitch from Mage. He gets the outside corner in for a called strike one. So the count now 0-1. Maddox the hitter for Littlefield. Here's the second pitch. Be a little inside. Ball one. Count now 1-1. So here's the next pitch from Major. Gets him swinging with the curveball. Be a called strike two. The count is now 1-2 to Maddox McDonald. Fourth pitch is underway. It's going to be a swing and a foul ball. The count remains 1-2. So here's the next pitch by Mage. Be a curveball. He gets a little piece of it. It's going to go down the foul line. Count remains 1-2. Here's the next pitch from Mage. A little too inside. It's going to be a ball. Count is now 2-2. So 22 the count. Here's the next pitch. And he gets a hold of it. It went straight to Gabe Mata. Had a little bit of heat on it. And it just hits the outside of his glove. It's going to be a error, and it gets the batter to first. So Shallowater now has a runner on first base. The leadoff hitter gets on. That brings number 6, Clayton Vincent, to the plate for the Mustangs. So the next pitch is underway. He shows bunt. Kirkland tries to back pick the first in a big lead, but he gets back safe. So Vincent gets a call from his coach. Major gets a sign from Kirkland. Here's the pitch. He lays down a bunt. It goes straight back to Mage. Mage gets the out at first, but not before Maddox McDonald gets the second. So Littlefield will get an out of it. The Shallowater will move their base runner over. There's now a base runner at second with 1 out. Score still 1-0, Littlefield on top. This will bring to the plate number 17, Garrett Boschma for the Mustangs. This is the 3-hole for the Mustangs. So here's the next pitch from Mage. Gets it in for a called strike one. Inside fastball. Boschma gets the call from his coach, steps back into the box. Mage getting ready to deliver the next pitch. He gets it inside, and Boschma fouls it off the left field line. It's going to be strike 2. The count now 0-2 with 1 out. Maddox, the base runner, at second for the Mustangs. So here's the next pitch. It's going to be fouled off again. Hits the Littlefield dugout. Count still remains 0-2. So here's Mage. Next pitch underway. Oh, and he gets a hold of that one. Villanueva's at the fence line and gets there just in time. And it's going to be an out number 2. He got a hold of that baseball, but not enough. Gabe Villanueva makes the catch at the fence line. It was at the warning track, excuse me. Gabe Villanueva makes a catch at the warning track for out number 2 for Littlefield. And that'll hold the runner at second base for the Mustangs. With that, here comes the cleanup hitter for the Mustangs, Zach Scott. He's the DH batting for Braden Gurney today. So here comes Mage. He fouls it off. It's going to be a called strike 1. So the count now 0-1. Runner at second. Mage getting ready to deliver. He back picks his second, and he's going to be safe. So the count's still 0-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Mage throws him inside. It's going to be a pop fly caught by Braden Redmond. So with that, the Wildcats have a shutout inning, leading it 1-0 against the Shallowater Mustangs. We're going to take a break with them. We'll be right back.
Lance Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. They offer a better way to buy insurance. Visit David McGeehee and let him shop multiple carriers to get the most competitive rate available for auto, home, commercial, life, crop insurance, and more. Go by 2433 South Farwell Avenue in Littlefield, or give David a call at 385-1693 and let him find the best combination of price, coverage, and service just for you. The Lance Insurance Agency proudly supports the Wildcats and Lady Cats in all that they do.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the first inning, Littlefield leads the game 1-0. And Ian Mendez is up next to bat for Littlefield. So Littlefield got the start they wanted, leading the game off. McNeese is only at 13 pitches to start off so far. Gurney for Shallowater is at 19. So here comes Ian Mendez leading off things for the Wildcats in the second inning. He'll be followed by Jacob Kirkland. So Ian getting ready to start things off this second inning for Littlefield. Here's the first pitch of the second inning. Ian gets a drag bunt down third, and the third baseman makes an error. Ian's going to get to first safe off of a drag bunt down the third base line. So Littlefield gets a runner on. Ian Mendez gets the bunt down, and that'll bring number 10, Jacob Kirkland, to the plate for Littlefield. And Kirkland has been having a great at-bat the past 2 games. Not trying to jinx anything, but he's 7 for 7 the last 2 games. So here's the first pitch. Kirkland gets the bunt down. Perfect spot. It's going to be a push bunt. Ian's going to go third, but he's not going to be in time. So we get an out at. Ian Mendez gets thrown out at third. Kirk did a job and got the bunt down, a perfect push bunt. He gets on safe, but Ian Mendez is going to be thrown out at third. So Littlefield now has one out. Number 8 and the catcher, Jaden Kirkland. So Kirkland the base runner for Littlefield. And Kirkland at the plate. First pitch. It's going to be low and away, ball 1. Count is now 1-0. So second pitch underway. And it blows right past him for a called strike 1. Count now 1-1 with 1 out for Littlefield. And Jaden Kirkland the batter. Jacob Kirkland the runner at first. And he gets a huge jump, steals. He wasn't even delivering the pitch. And Jacob Kirkland's going to be picked off for out number 2, trying to steal second. He thought he had Gurney red, but didn't quite have him. He gets picked off, so the count's now 1-1 with 2 outs. No base runners on for Littlefield. So here's the next pitch from Gurney. Gets him swinging, gets Kirkland swinging for a called strike 2. So the count now 1-2 with 2 outs. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be a low ball. So the count now evens out 2-2. You have 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Littlefield still leading the game 1-0. Here's the next pitch. He throws it up, gets him swinging. It's going to be a called strike 3. So with that, Littlefield has a scoreless second inning. We're going to take this little break with them. We'll be right back.
This is Superintendent Mitch McNeese. As a proud Wildcat alumni, I am honored to lead our district alongside a dedicated team committed to excellence. From our esteemed school board to our hardworking administrators, faculty, and staff, we stand united in our mission to develop and inspire every student. Together, we continue our proud tradition of academic and personal growth. So let's embrace the spirit of Wildcat magic as we pave the way for a bright future. Littlefield ISD, where tradition meets progress.
Every bag of FiberMax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." FiberMax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions.
118 years and still going strong. Wellington State Bank is your hometown community bank. Wellington State Bank offers personal dedicated service on deposit accounts, farm and equipment loans, and many other financial needs. Wellington State Bank proudly serves the Littlefield area and always supports the Wildcats. Visit any of our 14 locations or on the web at wellingtonsb.bank. Wellington State Bank of Littlefield, your partners in progress, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
So welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabriel Montalvo, bringing you tonight's matchup. And just if you're just now hopping into tonight's broadcast, what happened second inning, Mendez was the leadoff batter for the Wildcats. He gets a drag bunt down the third baseline, gets the first safe. And then Jacob Kirkland comes up after him, follows with a push bunt, gets it in the gap perfectly. He gets there safe. But then Mendez tries to go to third and gets thrown out. So right there, what just happened was a hit to right field, and Kirkland gets under it for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out for McNeese to start off the bottom of the second. But just a little bit of mistakes from Littlefield in the second inning. Hopefully we can clean it up here on the defensive end. So this will bring number 8, Caden Carter, to the plate for the Mustangs. His first pitch is going to be a ball up. Counts now 1-0 with 1 out. So next pitch underway from Mage. It's going to be a ball low, ball 2. Count now 2-0. So here's the next pitch. Gets it in for a called strike 1. Gets the outside corner. Count is now 2-1 with 1 out. Next pitch underway. It's a swing and a miss, called strike 2. So the count now 2-2 with 1 out. Here's the next pitch for McNeese. Tries to get him with the outside corner, but it's going to be a little bit outside. It's now full count. 1 out. Next pitch underway. He gets a piece of it. It's going to be hit to shortstop, but it's going to go right under Mendez's glove as he tries to get under it, but slips trying to field it. So off that, he's going to be a base hit to the leadoff batter of the inning. It'll bring number 10, Rylan Ramos, to the plate for the Mustangs. Shallowater has a runner on first base with 1 out in the bottom of the second. McNeese getting ready to deliver. Here it is. It's going to be a deep pop fly, and it's going to bounce off the center field wall. Redmond gets it into Mendez, but not after a double from Shallowater. So Shallowater now has a runner at third and a runner at second after a huge hit off the top of the wall from center field. He really got a hold of that ball. Looks like Shallowater's going to have a courtesy runner for their, I believe, catcher. So after that hit, it's going to bring number 7, Blaine St. Clair, to the plate for the Mustangs. So Littlefield has 1 out in the inning, and Shallowater has a runner on third and a runner on second. So the tying, here's the next pitch. Get in for a called strike 1. So you have the tying run on third and the go-ahead run on second. So St. Clair will get the call from his coach, steps into the box. Here comes the next pitch from McNeese. Or he might hold till, oh, never mind. Here's the next pitch. Shows bunt, doesn't get it down. The runner tries to get a suicide bunt down, but doesn't work. Kirkland's going to chase him down to third, and Chip's going to get the tag out for out number 2. So after an attempted suicide squeeze, that now leaves Shallowater with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. So now they only have 1 base runner on. The tying run is on second base. The count is at 1-1. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be an inside blooper, and it gets over McDonald. Gets to Kirkland. Kirkland fires home, but not in time. And Shallowater gets their first run on the board of the night after a little bloop hit over McDonald's head. Just couldn't quite get to it. The score is now 1-1 at the bottom of the second. That now brings number 1, Rylan Blackburn, to the plate for Shallowater. The 9-hole, and then they're back up at the top. So Shallowater has a runner at first. Mays delivers the pitch for a outside and high ball. The count is now 1-0. Next pitch underway. Another high and outside ball. Count is now 2-0 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And here's the next pitch. Gets it in for a strike. He's going to swing, and it's going to be a pop fly. Adam calls it off. That's going to be out number 3 for the Wildcats. After an infield fly, Adam McDonald makes the catch. The score is now 1-1 heading into the top of the third. We'll be right back right after this.
The Lamb County Electric Cooperative was established in 1938 for the purpose of making life better for our community, and today they continue to strive for that purpose. LCEC is committed to providing safe, reliable electric service at the lowest practical cost. The Lamb County Electric Co-op is proud of its well-trained, quality workforce that meets the changing needs of its membership. Proudly serving you and all of the communities in our coverage area, the Lamb County Electric Co-op, a touch-tone energy cooperative.
Needing a tow can ruin your day. Whether it be a breakdown, flat tire, or even a wreck. If you ever need a tow, Always Towing is here to make it less stressful and more cost efficient for you. Always Towing is located in Littlefield, Texas, and services the entire area. They provide light and heavy duty towing, rollback services, winch outs, and wheel lifts for trucks. Their experienced drivers are available 24 hours a day. Call 385-3800. That's 385-3800 for Always Towing. The Holmes family of Always Towing sends all the best to the Littlefield Wildcats in tonight's game.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. It is now the top of the third inning. Gabe Villanueva will lead things off for Littlefield to start the inning. So Shallowater tied the game up. Last inning, the score is now 1-1. Both pitchers have delivered 26 pitches this game. So here comes Villanueva, ready to start things off for Wildcats in the third inning. He takes outside fastball for a call. It's strike 1. Next pitch underway. A little bit of miscommunication from Shallowater coach and the catcher. Doesn't get the call. Gurney steps off the mound. Here we go. Next pitch underway. Be low in the dirt. Ball 1. Count is now 1-1 for the left fielder. So here's the next pitch. It's going to hit the outside corner for a called strike 2. Count is now at 1-2. Next pitch underway. Gets him swinging for a called strike 3. So with that, Littlefield will be back at the top of the lineup. Here comes the pitcher, Major McNeese, as the second batter of the inning for the Littlefield Wildcats. Sun's starting to go down over here in Shallowater. It's in an awkward spot for me. Still feels really great outside. So here's the pitch to McNeese. He's going to get outside, and it's going to go straight down the first base line. It's going to go to the fence. McNeese is rounding first. He gets to second. Harley's going to call for him to third. Major's going to get a triple out of the hit down the first base line. So McNeese, the first pitch of his AB, sends a shot down the first base line and gets a triple out of it. So that'll bring now Adam McDonald to the plate for Littlefield with Major McNeese at third. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Gurney getting the call from his catcher. Pitch to McDonald. Going to get the outside corner for a called strike one. Counts now 0-1 with 1 out. Next pitch is underway. He's going to try to get a bunt down, but it's going to go over the netting. It's going to be a called strike two. The count is now 0-2 to the first baseman. So the first baseman steps back into the box. Count 0-2 with 1 out here in the top of the third. McDonald calls time. He's going to step out of the box, get himself back together. Count still 0-2. Here's the pitch. Gets it swinging for a called strike three. So McDonald will go down swinging. That's now 2 outs for Littlefield. Here comes Braden Redmond to the plate for Littlefield. Major McNeese still on third. So base hits, good score one, and give Littlefield the lead back. So here's the first pitch to Redmond. Nidges the outside corner for a called strike one. Things starting to cool off here in Shallowater. It's starting to get a little chilly. But here comes the next pitch. It's going to be high and outside for a called ball. The count is now 1-1 with 2 outs. On the top of the third. Major McNeese still on third for Littlefield. Redmond the batter. Here comes the next pitch. And he check swings, but it's going to be called a strike anyway. So the count is now 1-2 with 2 outs. The leading run is on third for Littlefield. Next pitch is underway. And he blows it by him for a called strike three. Redmond's going to go down swinging. So with that, that brings an end to the top of the third for Littlefield. We fail to get Major in. The score remains 1-1. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC in Plainview. It's truck month at Bill Wells, and we have 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado light-duty trucks with Turbo Max and 5.3-liter engines, and great offers on all other Silverados. Make us your last stop and get the best deal. Together, let's drive. Call, click BillWellsChevrolet.com, or come see us at 501 South I-27, where your next car is in plain view.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Brown family of Brown Flying Service in Littlefield proudly supports the Littlefield Wildcats and sends them all the best in tonight's game. Brown Flying Service provides agricultural aerial application services to crop producers across the South Plains. They offer a comprehensive array of products and services for your agriculture operation. Based at the Littlefield Taylor Brown Municipal Airport, it's Brown Flying Service supporting the Wildcats this season.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We're now at the bottom of the third inning. The game's still tied at 1-1. Just to recap on what happened at the top of the third for Littlefield, we had G. Villanueva lead the things off for him. He goes down swinging. That brings Major McNeese back up to the top. He gets a shot down the first baseline. He gets a triple out of it. And then after that, Littlefield just had the rest of the batters strike out, leaving McNeese at third. So that's just a recap of the top of the third for you. Here comes number 5, Maddox McDonald, the leadoff hitter for Shallowater. First pitch, foul tips off. It's strike 1. 0-1 the count. So here's the pitch from McNeese. Throws him a little slider, it looked like, and he gets a hold of it. It's going to be a shot right up the middle. It'll be a base hit for Maddox McDonald of Shallowater. So that'll bring Clayton Vincent to the plate for the Mustangs with a runner on first. So a base hit to lead off things for the Mustangs, bottom of the third. Here comes the pitch from Mage. He's going to show bunt go. He doesn't get it. Kirkland tries to back pick to first, but leads McDonald away from the bag. The runner's going to be back safe. The count is 0-1. So the batter getting the call from his coach down at third. McNeese gets the call. Back picks to first, and he gets back safe. So the count's still 0-1 with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Tries to bunt again. Kirkland back picks. And not in time as he gets back safe. So the count's now 1-1. To Clayton Vincent for the Mustangs. So Shallowater, I guess, trying to slow things down, slow Major down by taking a while to get the calls in. He finally gets it in. Here's the pitch. Be outside for a called ball 2. Count now 2-1 with no outs. So here's Clayton for the Mustangs. Pitch from Mage. Shows bunt goes, doesn't get it. Kirkland tries to throw back to first. And doesn't get him. Adam lost the ball for a little bit, but luckily he found it before the runner realized what was going on. So a runner at first for the Mustangs. The count now 2-2 to the batter. So here's the next pitch. A little high and outside for called ball 3. The count is now full. So a full count with the runner at first for the Mustangs. Tries to back pick to first. Doesn't get him. So the count still remains full with the runner on first. Here's the next pitch from Mage. And he fouls it off. It's going to be, the count's going to remain full still. So full count, no outs here in the bottom of the third. Sun's starting to go down here in Shallowater. So starting to get a little colder. But here's it from Mage. Another foul ball. Count remains full still. So here comes the next pitch from Mage. Bowls it by him for a drop, strike 3. Kirkland dropped it, but the base was occupied already, so it's going to be a strikeout for the batter from Shallowater. The runner's going to move over, so Shallowater now has a runner at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. It's going to bring number 17, Garrett Boschma, to the plate for the Mustangs. So 1 out. Here's the pitch. Inside, called strike 1. Low and inside. Count now, 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. He check swings, gets away from Kirkland. And the runner's going to take third base. And Shallowater now has the leading runner in scoring position on third with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. The count now is 1-1 to the 3-hole for the Mustangs. Here comes the next pitch. A perfect spot, but doesn't get the call. So the count is now 2-1. A low and outside pitch. Here comes the next delivery. He's going to say he left it inside. It's going to be a called ball 3. So the count's now 3-1 with 1 out, the leading runner on third. So here comes the next pitch. And he's going to say he threw it outside. He'll say he threw it outside. So he'll walk that batter. Here comes the 4-hole. Here comes the 4-hole for the Mustangs. I have to agree with Harley. Harley throwing a little bit of a tantrum, but I feel like it's a pretty valid one. I mean, beautiful pitches that you don't get right there. That now Shallowater has a runner on third and on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. So here comes the cleanup hitter, Zach Scott for the Mustangs. First pitch. First pitch is a called strike outside. It looked pretty familiar, similar to the last pitch, but you know what? It is what it is. We get a strike this time. The count is now 0-1 with 1 out. So here's the next pitch. He throws it. He throws the same pitch, but doesn't get it this time. It's going to be a ball 1. So the count is now 1-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. So here comes McNeese with the next pitch. It's going to be a curveball fouled off straight back. Be a strike 2 to the cleanup hitter. Count is now 1-2, 1 out with the runner on third base and 1 on first. Sorry for the giggling. There's just a lot of bickering going on in the stands. Here comes the next pitch from Mage. It's going to be fouled off. The count remains 1-2. So McNeese is now at 46 pitches. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be a base hit to right field. Kirkland gets it, but Shallowater's going to take the lead as the runner on third base comes in to score. So with that, it'll bring the 5-hole number 2, Pierce Keeney, to the plate for the Mustangs. Shallowater now leads the game 2-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. So 1 out, a runner on second, and a runner on first for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch from Mage. It's a pitch in for a call at strike 1. So the count is now 0-1 with 1 out still. Here's the next pitch for McNeese. Gets it in for a call at strike 2. Count is now 0-2. So McNeese ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. Behind outside, ball 1. And Kirkland's going to call time, try to go talk to McNeese. Try to calm him down a little bit. So makes his way back. Count is 1-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Runners still on second and first for the Mustangs. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be hit to Mata. Mata makes a play. Rolls it to Ian, but Ian just misses it. So with that, it's going to be a base hit. So it's going to be an error right there on the Wildcats. Had the double play set up, but just can't execute it. So that leaves the bases loaded for the Mustangs. Number 8, Caden Carter, will now come to the plate for Shallowater. Bases loaded with 1 out after an error from Littlefield. So here's the pitch from Mage. Hits it in. It's going to be hit to left fielder Villanueva, who gets under it and gets it in to Mendez. No runners are going to advance any, so still leaves the bases loaded, but now there's 2 outs after the catch from the left fielder. So the score is 2-1 here at the bottom of the third. Shallowater up on top. Bases loaded to bring number 10, Rylan Ramos, the catcher for the Mustangs, to the plate. So here comes the next pitch from Mage. Gets outside, bounces off the wall, and back to Kirkland. No runners are going to advance, but it's going to be ball 1. And McNeese was the pitcher, the relief pitcher in last game against Slayton. He threw a few pitches that game, so I wouldn't be too surprised if his arm's a little bit fatigued. I know it's been a few days, but I believe he's on a pitch limit. Throws the next pitch, going to be fouled off for a called strike 1. But as I was saying, McNeese was the reliever pitcher for Ian Mendez against the Slayton Tigers last week. He threw a few pitches, so he might be starting to feel it here early in the game, because he's already thrown 55 pitches. But here's the next pitch from him. Not going to get it. It's going to be a ball high. The count is now 2-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. So here's the next delivery from Mage. Be high and outside for another called ball. Count is now 3-1 with 2 outs, bases loaded for the Mustangs. So the hitter ahead of the count. Ump calls time as Kirkland's fidgeting with something. Here we are back in action. So 3-1 to the batter. He tries to back pick to second, but he's going to dive back in safely. So still, the count still remains 3-1, 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. He's going to say low and inside, so he's going to walk the batter. Bases were loaded, so here comes a runner to the plate for Shallowater. The score is now 3-1. Here comes Hartley. There might be a pitching change here for the Wildcats. So with this little break they're taking, we're going to take it with them, and we'll be right back right after this.
At First Federal Bank, we believe we are the best bank in Lamb County. We are the next generation of banking, while still holding true to our values that help to improve lives and strengthen communities. First Federal Bank was born to provide banking the way it should be, by putting people first. We are proud of the role we serve in the lives of our customers. Visit our new ATM, conveniently located at our bank at 2313 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. First Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 94763.
And we're back. Pitching remains the same. He's going to leave McNeese still on the mound. There's still 2 outs, the bottom of the third, bases loaded. At the plate for the Mustangs is number 7, Blaine St. Clair. So here's the first pitch to him. It's a low, but in for a strike. Count is now 0-1. So just to remind you of who's out there, you have left fielder G. Villanueva, center fielder Braden Redmond, and right fielder Jacob Kirkland. Third base, you have Chip Green, shortstop Ian Mendez, second base Gabe Mata, first base Adam McDonald, and the pitcher Major McNeese and his catcher Jaden Kirkland. So Major delivers a pitch. He thinks about swinging, swings anyway. It's going to be a called strike 2. So the count now 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Shallowater leads the game 3-1. Here's the next pitch. Outside fastball gets him swinging. That's going to be a called strike 3. So we're now heading to the top of the 4th. Shallowater leading this game 3-1. We'll be right back right after this.
The Heffington family of Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation sends all the best to each member of the Littlefield Wildcats this season. Triple T Irrigation is an authorized TL irrigation systems dealer. Like no other, hydrostatically powered TL systems are designed to deliver continuous movement to extend gearbox life. Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, proud supporters of the Littlefield Wildcats.
Hillcrest Funeral Home is Littlefield owned and operated and has been since 2007. We are proud supporters of the Wildcats, Lady Cats, and our Wildcat Band. I'm Shauna Wagley Hastings, and my promise is to always offer you personal and compassionate care in your time of loss. Hillcrest is hometown, and we are always here for you. Come see us at 1305 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. Hillcrest Funeral Home, cherish the memories, honor the legacy.
Trust the Lance Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. They offer a better way to buy insurance. Visit David McGeehee and let him shop multiple carriers to get the most competitive rate available for auto, home, commercial, life, crop insurance, and more. Go by 2433 South Farwell Avenue in Littlefield, or give David a call at 385-1693 and let him find the best combination of price, coverage, and service just for you. The Lance Insurance Agency proudly supports the Wildcats and Lady Cats in all that they do.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to Littlefield Wildcats baseball here on the Littlefield Sports Network. I'm Cody West, jumping in here for a moment for Gabe Montalvo as we move to the top half of inning number 4. The Wildcats trail this game by a score of 1-3, and Chip Green comes to the plate for the Wildcats. Green steps into the box. The pitcher gets a call from his catcher. Here's the windup. First pitch to Green is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Chip Green at the plate for the Wildcats, the Littlefield third baseman today. 0-1 pitch, swing and a foul ball straight back to the backstop. And that'll be strike 2. So now Chip is down in the count 0-2. 0-2 to the batter, Chip Green. Next pitch, high, good eye there, lays off of it. It's going to be a ball. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter here in the top of the 4th. Pitch, swing and a miss. It's strike 3. Easy. Foul tipped it into the catcher's glove. That'll be out number 1. 1 away for the Littlefield Wildcats. So Gabe Mata comes to the plate now for the Wildcats. Mata at the plate, Ian Mendez on deck. And we're going to hand it back over to Gabe.
Had to take a little break real quick. I'm back, though. The count is 1-0 with 1 out. Mata, the batter for the Wildcats. He's going to swing and foul it off. The count is now 1-1 with 1 out. So here comes the next pitch to Mata. So that pitch is going to be a ball outside. The count is now 2-1 to Mata. So here comes the next pitch from Gurney. Gets Mata swinging for a called strike 2. Count is now 2-2, 1 out, hit the top of the 4th. Littlefield trailing the Mustangs 3-1. Here comes the next pitch. And a swing and a miss for a called strike 3. Mata goes down swinging for Littlefield. That now brings Ian Mendez to the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th for the Wildcats. So here's Mendez. Here's the pitch. It's gonna be fouled off for a called strike 1. Count is now 0-1, 2 outs here at the top of the 4th. Here's the next pitch. It's a slider in there for a called strike 2. Count is now 0-2 with 2 outs. Mendez, the batter for the Wildcats. Next pitch. Fastball outside. I'm just gonna say it's a ball. The count is now 1-2. The whole field thought it was a strike as they all started running back to the dugout. So here comes the next pitch. Ian swings at it. It bounces. It leads the pitcher back to the first base. And that's going to be out number 3 for Littlefield. So again, Littlefield remains scoreless. The score is still 3-1. We'll be right back.
This is Superintendent Mitch McNeese. I'm proud to support our Littlefield ISD athletes and students as they strive for victory. Behind every game, every win, and every success on a field, court, or classroom stands a dedicated team. From our hardworking school board to our passionate administrators, faculty, and staff, we are cheering for our students. With their talent and determination, they embody the spirit of our community. Go Wildcats, Littlefield ISD, where excellence is the standard.
Every bag of Fibermax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." Fibermax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions.
118 years and still going strong. Wellington State Bank is your hometown community bank. Wellington State Bank offers personal dedicated service on deposit accounts, farm and equipment loans, and many other financial needs. Wellington State Bank proudly serves the Littlefield area and always supports the Wildcats. Visit any of our 14 locations or on the web at wellingtonsb.bank. Wellington State Bank of Littlefield, your partners in progress, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
So we're back into action here at the bottom of the 4th inning as the batter takes a low ball. The count is now 1-0 to start things off for the Mustangs. McNeese still the pitcher for Littlefield. He's thrown 63 pitches this game. 64 underway. He hits him swinging. It's going to be a high left field pop fly. Villanueva gets under it and makes the catch. So Gabe Villanueva makes the catch for out number 1. So with that, here comes number 5, Maddox McDonald, I believe is the leadoff hitter for Shallowater. So Shallowater back at the top. Here's the first pitch to him. He gets him swinging, it's fouled off, called strike 1. Count is 0-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. So here's the next pitch. Be high and outside. Ball one. So one's across the board. Ball, one strike, and one out. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be low and inside. Ball two. 21 the count. There's a train passing by. It's going to be a hit ball, but it's going to go foul. The count is now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the batter. 1 out, no runners on base. So here comes the next pitch. Gets him swinging. It's going to be fouled off. The count remains 2-2 with 1 out. Here's the next pitch from McNeese. Gets him swinging for a called strike 3. So with that, there's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 4th. Littlefield still trailing 3-1. So with that strikeout for McNeese, it brings number 6, Clayton Vincent, to the plate for the Mustangs. Here's the first pitch to him. He's going to swing and a miss, called strike 1. Here comes the second pitch. Same pitch, gets him swinging and missing again, called strike 2. McNeese pounding away at that outside corner. Here's the third pitch. Misses high and outside, ball 1. Count now 1-2. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The 4th pitch is going to be fouled off. It might have almost hit my car. I keep getting scared every time foul balls go that way because I'm the only car right there for some reason. With that, it's going to be, the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. So here comes the next pitch. Be a ball high. Count now 2-2. 2's across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch for McNeese. It's it inside. Just misses. It's going to be a ball inside. It's now a full count. So a beautiful pitch. Doesn't get the call, but it's all right. Count is full now. Here comes the next delivery. Be outside, so he'll walk the batter. So here comes the 3-hole for the Mustangs. Number 17, Garrett Boschma. So the score still remains 3-1. Shallowater on top here in the bottom of the 4th. Shallowater now has a runner on first base with 2 outs. So it's going to be a ball high. Counts 1-0. So McNeese gets the call from Kirkland. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball outside for a call at strike 1. The count now 1-1 with 2 outs. A runner on first here in the bottom of the 4th. So things starting to cool down here in Shallowater. But here comes the next pitch. It's going to be a swing and a foul ball. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the hitter. Here comes the next pitch from McNeese. Runner's going to go. He's going to be swung. Villanueva is going to be, he's going to let it drop. And that runner from first is going to get all the way to third. It's going to be a base hit for number 17. So with that, Shallowater now has a runner on first and a runner on third. The cleanup hitter now coming up to the plate, Zach Scott. He's batting 1,000 for the night. He hasn't went down swinging. There's been base hits all over the place. So Shallowater has a chance to extend their lead. They currently lead the game 3-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. So McNeese has thrown 81 pitches on the night, and Braden Gurney for Shallowater has thrown 51. So a big difference in arms for the night for both starting pitchers. So here comes the cleanup hitter for the Mustangs. And the first pitch. Fastball outside. He swings and fouls it off. It's going to be a called strike one. So 0-1, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. So here comes the next pitch. Fastball outside. Runner's going to go. He's going to get there. As Kirkland throws the ball to Ian, trying to get the third base runner slipping, but it doesn't work. So now Shallowater has a runner on third base and a runner on second with 2 outs and the cleanup hitter up to bat. The count is 1-1. Here comes the next pitch from Mage. Fastball inside, called strike 2. Count is now 1-2, 2 outs. Runners on third and second for the Mustangs. So here's the next pitch from McNeese. Be a curveball, gets him swinging. I'm so scared every time balls go that way. The count still remains 1-2 with 2 outs. So McNeese still ahead of the count. Here's the next pitch. Fastball outside. It's going to be a shot in the right center gap. They're running. Don't get to it. It's going to hit the warning track. Kirkland tries to relay it. Gets it over Mata's head. Shallowater's going to score 2 runs off of that. And the batter will get a double. So Shallowater now leads the game 5-1. So 5-1 is the score. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. This brings to the plate number 2, Pierce Keeney for the Mustangs. So here's Keeney for the Mustangs. 2 outs. The first pitch. Shows bunt. Tries to get it down, but doesn't. Called strike 1. Like tried to push bunt it, but it ended up coming straight back. So the count is now 0-1, 2 outs, runner on second. And McNeese is almost at 90 pitches for the night with Gurney at 51. Here's 88. Hits it up. It's going to go straight up, straight back. Kirkland looking for it. McDonald gets under it. Makes a sliding catch and makes the play. That's going to be out number 3 for the Wildcats. The score is now 5-1 going into the top of the 5th. We'll be right back.
The Lamb County Electric Cooperative was established in 1938 for the purpose of making life better for our community, and today they continue to strive for that purpose. LCEC is committed to providing safe, reliable electric service at the lowest practical cost. The Lamb County Electric Co-op is proud of its well-trained, quality workforce that meets the changing needs of its membership. Proudly serving you and all of the communities in our coverage area, the Lamb County Electric Co-op, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Needing a tow can ruin your day. Whether it be a breakdown, flat tire, or even a wreck. If you ever need a tow, Always Towing is here to make it less stressful and more cost efficient for you. Always Towing is located in Littlefield, Texas, and services the entire area. They provide light and heavy duty towing, rollback services, winch outs, and wheel lifts for trucks. Their experienced drivers are available 24 hours a day. Call 385-3800. That's 385-3800 for Always Towing. The Holmes family of Always Towing sends all the best to the Littlefield Wildcats in tonight's game.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabe Montalvo, still here bringing you today's matchup between the Shallowater Mustangs and your Littlefield Wildcats. Shallowater currently leads the game 5-1, going in to the top of the 5th. McNeese has thrown 88 pitches on the night, and Braden Gurney from Shallowater has thrown 51. So with that, Jacob Kirkland will be leading things off to start the inning for the Wildcats. So Littlefield scoreless since the first inning. We got 1 run and then haven't scored since. So Littlefield looking to get something started here in the 5th inning. So here comes the first pitch to Jacob Kirkland. Be a fastball, he swings, fouls it off. Be a called strike 1. So if you tuned in late into the game, as mentioned before, this game was supposed to be played in Littlefield, but due to weather, it was supposed to be played tomorrow, but due to weather, got moved to today. But with that being said, we're back in action. Gurney delivers the pitch and be a called strike 2 to Kirkland. So here comes pitch number 3. Kirkland gets a piece of it, but it goes foul. The count still remains 0-2. So 0-2 to Kirkland with no outs. Here comes the next pitch. Be a ball up. The count is now 1-2. So Kirkland calls time. Steps out of the box. Kirkland is the 7-hole for Littlefield. So he'll be followed by Jaden Kirkland and Gabe Villanueva. That pitch is delivered in there. And he swings at it and it'll be a called strike 3. So Jacob Kirkland will go down swinging for out number 1. And Jaden Kirkland will come to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning for the Wildcats. So here's Little Kirk for the Wildcats. First pitch. Fastball outside corner, called strike 1. 0-1 to Little Kirk. Here comes pitch number 2. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So the count now 0-2 with 1 out. So 0-2 to Kirkland. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be a low fastball in a perfect spot. It's going to be a called strike 3. Kirkland goes down looking for out number 2. So with that, it'll bring the 9-hole G Villanueva up with 2 outs, no runners on for the Wildcats. So here's the first pitch underway to Villanueva. Shows bunt, tries to get it down, is going to foul it off for a called strike 1. So the count now 0-1 with 2 outs. Villanueva up to bat. Here comes the second pitch to the left fielder. Some swinging, strike 2. So the count now 0-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Littlefield still has no runners on. Next pitch. Gets him swinging for a called strike 3. So that does it for the Wildcats here in the top of the 5th. Shallowater Mustangs still leading this game 5-1. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC in Plainview. It's truck month at Bill Wells, and we have 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado light duty trucks with Turbo Max and 5.3-liter engines, and great offers on all other Silverados. Make us your last stop and get the best deal. Together, let's drive. Call, click BillWellsChevrolet.com, or come see us at 501 South I-27, where your next car is in plain view.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Brown family of Brown Flying Service in Littlefield proudly supports the Littlefield Wildcats and sends them all the best in tonight's game. Brown Flying Service provides agricultural aerial application services to crop producers across the South Plains. They offer a comprehensive array of products and services for your agriculture operation. Based at the Littlefield Taylor Brown Municipal Airport, it's Brown Flying Service supporting the Wildcats this season.
True hometown banks are harder to find these days. Hometown banking at First Federal Bank means that we are headquartered right here in Lamb County. So you get personal service, local decisions from local pros, fast. We specialize in ag lending, land notes, and investment property. Plus, we have a new home mortgage product with little down and low rates. First Federal Bank in Littlefield, a hometown bank who understands your needs. Find us on Facebook, call, or come in today. First Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS 494763.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the 5th inning, where the Wildcats are trailing the Shallowater Mustangs 5-1. The game is being played here at the Shallowater Stadium here in Shallowater, Texas. Weather hasn't been awful. Sun went down. It cooled down a little bit. But here comes the first pitch of the inning. Gets him swinging for a called strike 1. Up at the plate is number 8, Caden Carter for the Mustangs. So here comes the next pitch. This will be a low pitch in the dirt. Be a called ball. The count is now 1-1. Here comes the next pitch to Caden Carter. He check swings on the outside fastball, misses. It's going to be a ball. Count is now 2-1. So 2-1 is the count. No outs here. Here comes the next pitch. Gets him swinging for a called strike 2. So the count is now 2-2. To Caden Carter. Here's the next pitch for McNeese. Gets him swinging. He gets a hold of it. It's going to be a hit to the third baseman. Chip Green takes a nasty hop, hits the top of his glove, and bounces up. So with that, Caden's going to get a base hit for Shallowater. So Shallowater will now have a runner on first after the error. Brings number 10, Rylan Ramos, the catcher, to the plate for the Mustangs. So a runner on first. Littlefield still trailing the game 5-1. McNeese has delivered 92 pitches on the night. Here comes the next pitch. Slider in for a called strike 1. So the count's now 0-1. Runner on first. Shows bunt, but it's going to foul it off. It's going to be a called strike 2. Count is now 0-2 to the catcher for Shallowater. So McNeese ahead in the count. The runner has yet to get a huge lead. So here comes the next pitch. The curveball goes straight up. Kirkland looking for it. Adam gets there and makes the catch. So McDonald makes the catch for out number 1 on the inning after a foul ball gets hit straight up. Looks like there's going to be a hitting substitution for Shallowater. Number 18, Carson Key, is going to be batting for number 7, Blaine St. Clair. So Carson Key at the plate for the first time for the Mustangs on the night. So 1 out with Carson Key at the plate for the Mustangs. Runner on first. Finally steps into the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball outside. It's going to be a little too far outside. Ball 1. Count is 1-0. So Key steps back into the box. Here comes the next pitch from Mage. Fastball outside. Strike 1. Count now 1-1. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. See dirt blowing around out there. So McNeese gets the call. Here comes the next pitch. Blows it by him. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So the count now 1-2. 1 out. Runner on first. So here comes the next pitch to Key. Gets him swinging. Fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. He got a hold of that foul ball too. Goodness. Thankfully, it stayed foul. But the count still remains 1-2. Here comes the next pitch. Throws a curveball, gets him swinging for a called strike 3. So with that, Mr. Key strikes out. That now leaves 2 outs and a runner on first base for the Mustang. Here comes number 1, Rylan Blackburn for the Mustangs, the 9-hole. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the first pitch to the batter. Curveball, strike 1. First pitch curveball. Some frozen. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Another curveball. Gets him swinging and a miss. Strike 2. Counts now 0-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first. McNeese has thrown 103 pitches on the night. Here's 104. Another curveball. Gets him swinging and he fouls it off. Count still remains 0-2. So 3 straight curveballs to the batter. Trying to get him to beat his curveball. Here comes the next pitch. Fastball in the dirt. It's blocked by Jaden, but the runner's going to go. Throws there, not in time. That runner's going to be safe. So Shallowater now has a runner on second with 2 outs. The count is 1-2 to the batter. Here comes the next pitch from Mage. Fastball up the middle. It's going to be hit up the middle to Braden Redmond. He throws it home. Wind carries it. Kirkland's going to make a block on it, but not in time to beat the runner. Shallowater scores the runner from second, and the hitter gets himself a double. So with that runner being scored, the score is now 6-1. Littlefield trailing the Mustangs. It was just a good hit. I mean, right up the middle. McNeese really couldn't do anything about it. He was falling off to the side. Just a really good hit. But here's the top of the lineup for the Mustangs. Fastball, gets him swinging. Called strike 1. Maddox McDonald, the batter for the Mustangs. 2 outs, runner on second. Here comes the next pitch. Curveball, gets him swinging. He fouls it off. Strike 2. So the count now 0-2 with 2 strikes. McNeese has now thrown 108 pitches on the night to Braden Gurney's 62. Pitch 109 on the way for McNeese. Leaves a curveball hanging. It's going to be a pop fly towards Braden Redmond. It hits his glove, but he doesn't make the catch on it. Pretty hard catch to make. Gets the ball in. Shallowater's going to score a run off of it. So Shallowater now leads the game 7-1. He got a hold of that baseball, had Redmond on the run for it, just couldn't quite get to it. But now I think there's going to be a pitching change for the Wildcats. But during this pitching break, we're going to go ahead and take this little break with them. We'll be right back.
The Heffington family of Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation sends all the best to each member of the Littlefield Wildcats this season. Triple T Irrigation is an authorized TL irrigation systems dealer. Like no other, hydrostatically powered TL systems are designed to deliver continuous movement to extend gearbox life. Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, proud supporters of the Littlefield Wildcats.
Hillcrest Funeral Home is Littlefield owned and operated and has been since 2007. We are proud supporters of the Wildcats, Lady Cats, and our Wildcat Band. I'm Shauna Wagley Hastings, and my promise is to always offer you personal and compassionate care in your time of loss. Hillcrest is hometown, and we are always here for you. Come see us at 1305 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. Hillcrest Funeral Home, cherish the memories, honor the legacy.
Trust the Lance Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. They offer a better way to buy insurance. Visit David McGeehee and let him shop multiple carriers to get the most competitive rate available for auto, home, commercial, life, crop insurance, and more. Go by 2433 South Farwell Avenue in Littlefield, or give David a call at 385-1693 and let him find the best combination of price, coverage, and service just for you. The Lance Insurance Agency proudly supports the Wildcats and Lady Cats in all that they do.
This is Superintendent Mitch McNeese. As a proud Wildcat alumni, I am honored to lead our district alongside a dedicated team committed to excellence. From our esteemed school board to our hardworking administrators, faculty, and staff, we stand united in our mission to develop and inspire every student. Together, we continue our proud tradition of academic and personal growth. So let's embrace the spirit of Wildcat magic as we pave the way for a bright future. Littlefield ISD, where tradition meets progress.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. So Wildcat baseball, where Littlefield trails the Shallowater Mustangs 7-1 here at the bottom of the fifth. So there's going to be a pitching change made. Major McNeese will end the night with 108 pitches. So he'll go to center field. G. Villanueva will be the left fielder. Jacob Kirkland is still the right fielder. Redmond comes into the infield. I believe he moves over to second. They move Braden Redmond over to second. Ian Mendez still stays at shortstop. Gabe Mata goes to third. Adam McDonald still the first baseman. Chip Green is now on the mound for the Wildcats, and the catcher still remains Jaden Kirkland. So back in action, there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Shallowater has a runner on second. And up to the plate is number 6, Clayton Vincent, the 2-hole for Shallowater. So here comes Chip's first pitch of the night. Fastball. It's a ground ball to Mendez. He makes an error. So he makes an error. It's going to be a base hit for Clayton. So with that error, Shallowater now has runners on the corner. And here comes the 3-hole Garrett Boschma. So Garrett Boschma now up to bat. 2 outs still here in the bottom of the fifth. So here comes Chip's second pitch of the night. It's a curveball in for a called strike 1. Or excuse me, it might have been a fastball. Excuse me. Nonetheless, it's strike 1. The count is now 0-1 with 2 outs. Here's the next pitch. Mata gets it to Mata, makes a throw to first, and it's in time for out number 3 on the inning. So Littlefield trails the game 7-1 against the Shallowater Mustangs. We'll be right back.
Every bag of Fibermax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." Fibermax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions. Every bag of Fibermax cotton has 220,000 seeds chock full of innovation, like advanced genetics for longer, stronger fiber, which means 220,000 reasons to hear, "You got what premiums?" And new Accent Flex technology for powerful weed control, which means 220,000 reasons to say, "Heck yeah, I grew that." Fibermax cotton from BASF. Innovation in every bag. Always read and follow label directions.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to Wildcat Baseball. Littlefield currently trailing the Shallowater Mustangs 7-1 going into the top of the 6th. Littlefield will be at the top of the batting lineup. So Major McNeese will lead things off to start the 6th inning. Littlefield has been scoreless since the top of the 1st. Shallowater was scoreless in the bottom of the 1st and then just piled on runs as the game has went on. Braden Gurney still on the mound for the Mustangs. So here comes McNeese to lead off things here in the top of the 6th for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. Be a ball low and outside. 1-0 is the count. So here comes the next pitch to McNeese. It's going to be a fastball down the middle. He swings at it and fouls it off. Called strike 1. 1-1 is the count to the leadoff hitter for the Wildcats. So here comes the next pitch to the center fielder. Low and outside, ball 2. So 2-1 is the count now for Major McNeese. Here comes the next pitch. Be low and inside, ball 3. Count now 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, who is having a good night at the plate for the Wildcats. So here comes the next pitch. Gets him swinging. It's going to be a called strike 2. Or he fouls it off for strike 2. So the count now has a full count. So full count to the center fielder, Major McNeese. Wildcats still trailing the game 7-1. So here comes the next pitch to McNeese. Gets him swinging for a called strike 3. So there's now 1 out here at the top of the 6th. That'll bring Adam McDonald to the plate for the Wildcats. So here comes McDonald, the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Away to outside, ball 1. Ump's going to clean off the plate real quick. Blake Green, still the coach down the first base line, and Jet Hartley, the other coach down the third base line for the Wildcats. So here comes the second pitch to McDonald. The foul tip swing strike one. So count now 1-1 with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. So here comes, or he steps off, tries to gather himself back up. Here comes pitch number 3 to McDonald. Low and outside, ball 2. Let's count now 2-1 to the first baseman. A 1 out, no runners on for the Wildcats. Pitch number 4 is going to be a ball high and outside. So it counts now 3-1, 1 out for the Wildcats. Adam McDonald still at the plate, being very selective. Here's pitch number 5. It's going to be a strike. He swings and fouls it off. So the count, he now has a full count, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Littlefield trying to get something going after being scoreless since the first. Shallowater leads the game 7-1. So here's the pitch. Low and inside, gets called strike 3. So Adam McDonald will go down looking for the Wildcats. That's now 2 outs. So Braden Redmond will come to the plate for the Wildcats with 2 outs and no runners on. So here comes the first pitch to the second baseman. She'll drag bunt, tries to get it down, but he's going to foul it off for a called strike 1. So 0-1 to Braden Redmond. Here comes pitch number 2. He pops it up to the first baseman. It's a high fly ball. And he nearly drops it, but he's going to make the catch on it. So that's going to be out number 3. The Wildcats still trailing the Shallowater Mustangs here in the bottom of the 6th, 7-1. We'll be right back right after this.
118 years and still going strong. Wellington State Bank is your hometown community bank. Wellington State Bank offers personal dedicated service on deposit accounts, farm and equipment loans, and many other financial needs. Wellington State Bank proudly serves the Littlefield area and always supports the Wildcats. Visit any of our 14 locations or on the web at wellingtonsb.bank. Wellington State Bank of Littlefield, your partners in progress, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Lamb County Electric Cooperative was established in 1938 for the purpose of making life better for our community, and today they continue to strive for that purpose. LCEC is committed to providing safe, reliable electric service at the lowest practical cost. The Lamb County Electric Co-op is proud of its well-trained, quality workforce that meets the changing needs of its membership. Proudly serving you and all of the communities in our coverage area, the Lamb County Electric Co-op, a Touchtone Energy cooperative.
Needing a tow can ruin your day, whether it be a breakdown, flat tire, or even a wreck. If you ever need a tow, Always Towing is here to make it less stressful and more cost-efficient for you. Always Towing is located in Littlefield, Texas, and services the entire area. They provide light and heavy-duty towing, rollback services, winch outs, and wheel lifts for trucks. Their experienced drivers are available 24 hours a day. Call 385-3800. That's 385-3800 for Always Towing. The Holmes family of Always Towing sends all the best to the Littlefield Wildcats in tonight's game.
Welcome back to Littlefield Wildcat baseball. We're now at the bottom of the 6th inning where Littlefield trails the Shallowater Mustangs 7-1. So here comes the cleanup hitter for the Mustangs. Chip Green's first pitch in for a called strike 1. Count is now 0-1 to the cleanup hitter, Zach Scott. Second pitch. The fly ball hit to Major McNeese, and it gets down. Ball was hit on the line. He tries to run up on it, realizes he wasn't going to make it. So with that, it's going to be a base hit to Zach Scott. It'll bring number 2, Pierce Keeney, up to the plate for the Mustangs. So no outs, a runner on first. Keeney up to the plate for the Shallowater Mustangs. Here's the delivery from Green. Down. Runner's going to steal. Throw from Kirkland. Not in time, so that runner's going to get there safe off a stolen bag. So Shallowater now has a runner in scoring position with no outs. And Keeney is the batter. Count is 1-0. He gets the call from his coach, now steps into the box. Here's the second pitch from Green. Gets it in for a call, strike 1. So the count now 1-1, no outs, with the runner on second. So here comes pitch number 3 from Green. Low and inside, ball 2. Counts now 2-1. So 2-1 to the batter. Here comes pitch number 4. Gets him swinging, fouls it off. Strike 2. So the count now 2-2, no outs, with the runner on second. Keeney, the batter for the Mustangs. So here comes pitch number 5 from Chip Green. Curveball gets hit right back up to him. It's going to slow the momentum down. Mendez tries to scoop it and throws, but it's not going to be in time. So Shallowater is going to get a base hit off of it after that ball was hit right up the middle, straight back to Chip Green. Had a fast reaction, but not fast enough as it bounces off of his hand. I think Hartley's going to go out there and check on his pitcher. That ball came up right up the middle and hit Green in the hand. So with that, there's going to be a little bit of we'll stay with them. So that hit was right up the middle. It looked like Green tried to snag it with his hand or something. But nonetheless, we don't get an out off of it. It's going to be considered a hit. So Shallowater will now have a runner on first and a runner on third with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Up at the plate is Caden Carter for the Mustangs. Mustangs still lead the game 7-1 against the Wildcats here at Shallowater Stadium. So here's Green ready to deliver the pitch to Carter. Shows bunt, gets straight up, and gets down for a foul ball. Strike 1. Count is now 0-1. Runners on the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. So here comes Chip getting the sign from Jaden Kirkland. Here's the next pitch. Shows bunt again, tries to get it down, fouls it off. Strike 2. So doesn't get the bunt down after a second failed attempt. Count is now 0-2. 0-2, no outs. Runners on the corners. Leading the game 7-1 is Shallowater. So here comes the next pitch for Chip Green. He back picks to first. Not in time. The runner gets back safe. So the count still remains 0-2. Here's the pitch. Curve ball gets him for a strike 3. So he'll go down looking for out number 1. The runner from first is going to steal, however. So Shallowater now has runners on third and on second. So a curveball from Chip leaves Carter shook, and he goes down looking for out number 1. So here comes number 10, Rylan Ramos, the catcher for the Mustangs, up to bat. 1 out. Curveball in for a strike 1. So 0-1 is the count now to the batter. Here comes the next pitch from Green. Another curveball. Just misses the outside corner for a ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Well, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 on third and 1 on second. Fastball inside for a strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Rylan Ramos still at the plate. Here's the 4th pitch. Curveball, he check swings. Doesn't give it to him. Says it was a ball, excuse me. Says it was a ball. That ball's going to take a weird bounce off of the catcher, Jaden Kirkland's body. It hits him in the body, not in the hand, or excuse me, not in the glove. He's a little shooken up by it. But luckily, the runner from third stayed. So the count's now 2-2, 1 out. Here's the next pitch. Fastball inside. Nearly hits him, but doesn't. Full count now. Here's the next pitch from Green. He swings at it. It's going to be a high pop fly. Villanueva makes the catch. Runner tags. It's nearly beats him with the throw. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. The runner from third will score, and that now makes the score 8-1. Shallowater Mustangs still leading this game. 2 outs now for Littlefield. Runner just on second. Up to the plate now is number 7, Blaine St. Clair, who was pitched hit for by Carson Key last inning. So here's the first pitch to St. Clair. Fastball in there for a strike 1. Count now 0-1. 0-1 with 2 outs. Or, yeah, 0-1 with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a check swing. Runner's going to go to third. He's going to get there safely. So he's going to give us a strike. That was a strike that got under Kirkland's glove. Counts now 0-2 with a runner now on third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, little outside, ball 1. 1-2 is the count to St. Clair. Here comes the pitch. Inside, ball 2. So 22 is now the count with 2 outs. 2s across the board. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Some swinging, he fouls it off he fouls it off. The count remains 2-2. 2 outs, a runner on third for the Mustangs. Littlefield 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Curveball gets him stuck. He goes down swinging, or excuse me, goes down looking, and Chip Green retires the side. The score is now 8-1. Shallowater leading this game. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC in Plainview. It's truck month at Bill Wells, and we have 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado light duty trucks with Turbo Max and 5.3-liter engines, and great offers on all other Silverados. Make us your last stop and get the best deal. Together, let's drive. Call, click BillWellsChevrolet.com, or come see us at 501 South I-27, where your next car is in plain view.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Brown family of Brown Flying Service in Littlefield proudly supports the Littlefield Wildcats and sends them all the best in tonight's game. Brown Flying Service provides agricultural aerial application services to crop producers across the South Plains. They offer a comprehensive array of products and services for your agriculture operation. Based at the Littlefield Taylor Brown Municipal Airport, it's Brown Flying Service supporting the Wildcats this season.
Welcome back to Wildcat Baseball, where the Wildcats trail the Shallowater Mustangs 8-1 here going into the top of the seventh. So the last inning of play here in Shallowater Stadium. Well, it's kind of been a one-sided game. Littlefield threw up 1 run in the top of the first and has been scoreless since. Shallowater threw up no runs in the bottom of the first and then threw up 1 run in the second. They threw up 2 runs in the third, fourth, and fifth inning. And then to finish it off, threw up 1 run in the bottom of the sixth. So score 8-1. Chip Green coming up to bat for the Wildcats. Green is now the pitcher in relief for Major McNeese. So Green getting ready to lead off things for the Wildcats, top of the seventh. First pitch, inside, ball 1. Inside, ball 1, count 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Green. Gets him swinging for a called strike 1. 1-1 is the count. Here's the next pitch. Low in the dirt. Ball 2. Count now 2-1. Green up at the plate. Gabe Mata on deck for the Wildcats. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing in, strike 2. So the count now 22 with no outs. So here comes the 22 pitch to Chip Green. Low and outside, ball 3. So now a full count to Chip Green. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to the cleanup hitter for the Wildcats. Ball up, he gets walked. So Chip Green will take the walk, and that'll bring Gabe Mata up to the plate for the Wildcats. So here comes the sophomore to the plate. Chip Green at first. Ian Mendez on deck for the Wildcats. So no outs in the top of the 7th. Here's the first pitch from Gurney to Mata. Gets him swinging. Called strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. Chip Green on first. Gurney delivers the second pitch for a swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 is the count to the third baseman. I believe Mata is 0-2 or 0-3 on the night with all strikeouts. So here comes the next pitch. Gurney's going to pause and hold. Mata's going to call time. So reset things. The count's still 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to the sophomore. Green still on first. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Mata will go down swinging. It is the first out of the top of the 7th for the Wildcats. That'll bring up number 12, Ian Mendez. So Ian will come up to bat. Chip Green is on first. And Jacob Kirkland is on deck. So here comes the first pitch to Mendez. Gurney will back pick. Try to get Chip off guard. Not there in time, though. Chip gets back safe. So here comes the next pitch, or the first pitch. Chip's going to steal. He's going to get there in time, and he's safe. So Green makes it to second safe. So Littlefield now has a runner on second with 1 out. So 1-0 to Mendez. Here comes, or excuse me, 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ball up. Count is now even at 1-1. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out for the Wildcats. So here comes the next pitch. He's going to swing. It's going to go oppo, and it gets down. It goes to the fence. Mendez rounding first. Here comes Green rounding third. Green's going to score. Mendez is going to hold at second, and that's going to be a double for Ian. Chip Green will come in to score for the Wildcats. That was a great hit right there by the shortstop. Goes oppo, and it gets it under the right fielder's glove. Ian took an awkward stop right there. A little shooken up by it. But he'll score Green. The score is now 2-8. Littlefield still trailing. With that, Captain Kirk will come up to bat for the Wildcats. And I believe Shallowater is going to have a pitching substitution. Braden Gurney will come off the mound. And I don't know if it's senior night. They're all hugging him, maybe. Get a standing ovation. Possibly. Oh, well. So there's going to be a pitching change for Shallowater. We're going to take this little break with him. We'll be right back.
At First Federal Bank, we believe we are the best bank in Lamb County. We are the next generation of banking, while still holding true to our values that help to improve lives and strengthen communities. First Federal Bank was born to provide banking the way it should be, by putting people first. We are proud of the role we serve in the lives of our customers. Visit our new ATM, conveniently located at our bank at 2313 Phelps Avenue in Littlefield. First Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 4-94763.
The Heffington family of Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation sends all the best to each member of the Littlefield Wildcats this season. Triple T Irrigation is an authorized TL irrigation systems dealer. Like no other, hydrostatically powered TL systems are designed to deliver continuous movement to extend gearbox life. Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, proud supporters of the Littlefield Wildcats.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to Wildcat Baseball with the Littlefield Wildcats trail. the Shallowater Mustangs 2-8. Shallowater is going to make a pitching change here in the 7th inning, and Braden Gurney will go to the dugout, and number 22, John Paul Naranjo, will come up and be the reliever or the closer pitcher for the Mustangs. So Jacob Kirkland, the batter, and Ian Mendez, after a double to the right field, is on second. So here comes the 0-0 pitch. He's going to back pick. Not in time. Mendez is back safe. So the count's still 0-0. 1 out. Ian still on second. Here comes the first pitch to Captain Kirk. To be inside for a ball 1. So 1-0 is the count. Mendez still on second. Littlefield still trailing this game 2-8 here in the last inning of play. So here comes the 1-0 pitch to Kirkland. Ball up. Count is now 2-0. So Captain Kirk ahead in the count. (2-0) to the batter. 1 out, runner on second. A base hit could score one. Here comes the next pitch. Curveball leaves it hanging for a called ball 3. So Kirk ahead in the count, 3-0, 1 out, with a runner on second. So the new pitcher has yet to find the strike zone. It's a fastball down the middle for a called strike 1. So 31 is now the count with Jacob Kirkland. 1 out, runner in scoring position, Mendez on second. Yeah, this pitcher takes a while to come set. And when he is set, he takes even longer. So, here comes the 3-1 pitch. Mendez on second still. It's going to be a gap shot. Kirkland gets a hold of it. The wind takes it back to the center fielder, though. That shot looked promising to me, and then it carried to the center fielder. So that's going to be out number 2. Had there been no wind, that shot would have been in the gap. That's going to be 2 outs for the Wildcats. That'll bring Jaden Kirkland to the plate for what could be the final out of the game. Shallowater leads the game 8-2 here against the Wildcats. So the catcher and pitcher talking something over. Play ball. So 2 outs, Mendez still on second. A base hit could score one, and out would end the game. So Kirkland finally steps into the box. Here comes the first pitch on what could be the last AB of the game. Curveball in for strike 1. So the count is now 0-1, 2 outs. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, swings, foul, tips it. Strike 2. So 0-2, 2 outs. This could be the final pitch of the night. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Gets him inside. He fouls it off, and it's going to bounce off the inside of his ankle. That hurts. That's unfortunate because I know that feeling. Nonetheless, the count is still 0-2 with 2 outs. Ian Mendez is the runner on second. And out right here would end the game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Gets it for a called ball. Mendez almost falls asleep out there, thinks it's a strike, I believe, and walks off. Catcher sees that and tries to back pick. Mendez thankfully gets back safe. So the count is now 1-2, 2 outs. So there, Kirkland gets a base hit in between the gap. Harley's looking for an interference call as Mendez was going to third, looking around it. Doesn't get it, though. So Kirkland keeps the at-bat alive for Littlefield with 2 outs. They're going to call a courtesy runner in for Kirkland as he limps off the field. Blayton Solis will be the pinch runner. And so Littlefield now has runners on first and third with G. Villanueva up to bat. 2 outs for what could be the last inning of play. Villanueva manages to get on. It would bring the top of the lineup back up for Littlefield. First pitch, high. First pitch, ball high. 1-0 is the count to the left fielder. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Count now 1-1, 2 outs. Any one of these bats could be the last at-bat of the night. 1-1 is the count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. Curveball tries to hit the outside corner, doesn't get it. This will be a ball 2. Count now 2-1 to G. Villanueva. 2 outs still. 2-8 is the score. Shallowater on top. Fastball up, gets him swinging for a called strike 2. So 2's across the board now. 2's across the board for what could be the last AB of the night. Here comes the 22 pitch. Curveball, gets it off the end of the bat, hits it to the second baseman, bobbles it, beats out the throw. Throw's going to be an error. And Blayton Solis holds at second. Could have been at third. But Villanueva reaches first off of an error from the second base. And the Wildcats stay alive. So Wildcats now have Blayton Solis and G. Villanueva on second and first. Top of the lineup back up for the Wildcats, Major McNeese. So here comes Mage. Wildcats now trying to pass the sticks. Mendez is going to score off of that hit, making the score 3-8. Curveball gets it in the outside corner for a called strike 1. So 0-1 is the count to McNeese. 2 outs. Runners on second and first. A base hit could score 1. Curveball leaves it up. Ball 1. So 1-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Wildcats. A base hit could score one, and out would end the game. Here's the pitch. McNeese swings, fouls it off. Strike two. So count now 1-2, 2 outs. Wildcats looking for a little bit of Wildcat magic. Looking to keep this game alive. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Low in the dirt. It's going to bounce back to the catcher. None of the runners are going to advance. So runners will stay on second and first. And Major stays alive. 2s across the board. 22 is the count. 2 outs for what could be the last inning of play. Nail biter going around here for if you're a Wildcat fan. Here comes the 22 pitch. Gets him swinging and hit straight to the second baseman, who this time makes a play on the ball, and that's going to do it. So with that, that retires the side. Shallowater wins this game 3-8 over your Littlefield Wildcats. So with that, I want to wish everyone a great night. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll have the broadcast for next week's game. I believe it's against Idalou at home. So if you can't come out, tune in and we'll have the broadcast up for you. With that being said, have a great night.
This has been a presentation of West 11 Sports Media. Today's Littlefield High School baseball action on the Littlefield Sports Network has been brought to you by the following supporters: the Littlefield ISD Hillcrest Funeral Home, Wellington State Bank, Heffington Farms and Triple T Irrigation, FiberMax by BASF, First Federal Bank, Brown Flying Service, the Lance Insurance Agency, All Ways Towing, and by Bill Wells Chevrolet GMC. This is West 11 Sports, your home for Littlefield High School sports.